Hey, welcome back to IRL Skills with Miss C. That's me. Today, I'm going to bring you along as I put hair tinsel into my daughter's hair. We don't allow them to dye their hair, so this is kind of like the next best thing where they get a little bit of color in their hair, but it's not ruining their hair. So stick around. Okay, so this is the kit that we get off of Amazon. It costs about $15 and it comes with all the tools you see here. And it also comes about 20 different hair tinsel colors. It does come with a little bit larger beads that you're going to see here. We ended up buying a little bit smaller beads because they were just too big for my kids' hair. I do prep the tinsel before I put it in, so it's a lot faster for the girls. So stick around and I'll show you exactly how we put the tinsel in their hair. Okay, here's what the beads look like up close. If you see the top two, those are the 5mm and the bottom three are actually 3mm. The 3mm we like a lot better because the beads aren't that big in their heads. And it doesn't really get caught up in their brushes as easy, so we like the 3mm versus the 5mm. And again, you could buy this off of Amazon. Okay, this first tool has a tiny little hook on it that is very useful in getting the bead onto the tinsel. So without this, you would struggle, but it's definitely doable. Okay, just to put the bead on, you're just going to grab the bead, slide it down. Make sure this little trap door is open or it won't go over. Put the bead all the way down to the end. Okay, now you're going to hook maybe about 4 to 5 pieces of tinsel onto the little hook. Okay, hook it on. I don't pull it all the way out of the bag because then it gets really messy, but hook it on with the hook, and then you're going to close the little trap door, pull it out of the bag, slide the bead over and kind of hold it with hold the tinsel with your fingers there. You'll see me unhook it from the little tool. Okay, so what I'm doing here is making a slip knot. I'm separating the tinsel. Okay, I'm going to push the bead up, and then I'm going to grab it with my 2 fingers, pinch it, and pull it. And what it did is it made a little knot really close to the bead. Okay, when you do that, give it a little pull so it kind of stays tight. But this, if you stop here, it'll slip out of the hair. So you want to make another knot. So I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so what I did is I wrapped the tinsel around my fingers, and I'm going to bring the little bead under the tinsel to make a knot. Okay, so I'm going to grab it, pull it underneath the tinsel, and as I did this, it made a little loop. So you're just going to want to make sure that loop ends as close to the bead as possible. Give it a slight little tug. You don't want to pull it too hard or your tinsel will break. But give it a little pull, and you have a little knot. Okay, as you can see here, you can see the bead and the 2 knots. So this is exactly what you want to have. Okay, in the kit that you get from Amazon, they will provide you with this tool. It's just a little loop tool. You're going to use this to slide the bead onto your kid's hair. Without it, it'll be very hard to slide the hair into the bead. So definitely use this tool. I'm going to show you here in the next part how to put it onto their hair. Okay, this is my daughter's hair before we put the tinsel in. We usually have her wash her hair before, like the night before, and then in the morning when it's dry and clean, I will put the tinsel in. Okay, I start by parting her hair, probably even with her ears, and going all the way back, and then I'll pin it up so it gets out of the way. So after I parted the hair, I will put a bead onto this loop tool. Okay, just slide it on all the way down. Sorry, it's going really slow. Slide it down all the way. And then I kind of use it to part and grab about 5 to 10 pieces of hair. Okay, I'm holding like 5-10 pieces of hair in my left hand, and then with my right hand, I'm opening the little loop tool, pulling her hair through. And if you look on the bottom, there's still the bead with the tinsel. So what I'm gonna do is kind of push that bead up over all the way to the end of the tool, pull it down, and now the hair is on or inside the bead. Okay, now using my needle nose pliers that do come with the kit. So you're gonna use these, grab the bead and move it all the way up to the close to the scalp. You don't want it like right on the scalp, but you want to give it some room so when you press it down, it doesn't like hurt. If it's too tight, then I'll show you here in a little bit how to remove the bead so you can readjust it. So you're just going to put it to the scalp, squeeze down just a little bit. I think about 2 squeezes is good enough. I don't want it super tight because whenever you go to fix her hair, it'll pull. Okay, here's how we do it again. You slide the bead over the tip of the loop. You'll see the tinsels on there. You use the top just to kind of grab 5 to 10 pieces of hair. Grab it. It's going really slow, sorry. Grab it, and then you're gonna loop the hair, the bead onto the hair. Okay. Here we go, grabbing it. Moving the bead up. I like to use the needle nose pliers to do it, but you can move it up with your finger. It's just as easy. Grab it, pinch. Okay, again, not too close to the scalp or it will hurt whenever you put her hair up into like a ponytail or any kind of design, it'll hurt. Okay, that layer is done. I usually only put about 5 to 6 pieces per layer. So I'm taking the hair down and I'm going to split it again a little bit higher, and then we will add a little bit more. So it's up to you how many you want to put in their hair. I like to do between like 15, and I've gone all the way up to like 50. Just I don't know why. I just did. And it looks amazing either way if you have just a little bit or a lot. I just try not to do a bunch, I guess, because then it's harder for them to brush their hair. Okay, so I actually recorded it doing using a 5mm bead. It's blonde, so you can see it a little bit easier. So here I'm grabbing just about 5 or 6 pieces of tinsel. Again, keep it in the package, or if you take it out, it's just going to become this giant like hairball mess, and you're going to be so mad. So keep it in the package. Only pull out just a few. Okay, put it on, close the trap door, move the bead down, grab the tinsel, and you're going to make that little slip knot. Grab it, pull it through. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to make the other knot just to make sure it doesn't fall off. Again, if you only do one slip knot, it's definitely going to come off. So make the little quick knot, make sure it ends as close to the bead as possible. You don't want to have it too low because it'll get snagged in their hair whenever they brush their hair. And again, see how big this 5mm bead is versus the little 3mm bead? I definitely prefer the 3mm versus the 5mm. I will use the 5mm on like my daughter who's older and has a lot more hair, but my daughter here, her hair is so fine and thin that the 5mm is just too much for her hair. It's too big, so I don't like it. So I'm gonna just slide it up real quick, pinch, pinch. Okay, and then see the difference. Okay, now to remove it, it's super easy. You're just gonna get your needle nose pliers. You're gonna kind of hold it steady with your left hand or your other hand, and then you're just gonna squeeze it just a little, and you don't need very much. You just need to make a little bit opening, and then it slides out. Again, notice how it's not painful. This process should not be painful at all. Okay. Okay, this next method I like to do at the top of their head. And if you really want it to be more of a permanent and not use your beads, this is a way to do it. So what I did is I grabbed a couple pieces of Tinsel, again, maybe 3 or 4 pieces. You're going to wrap it around your finger, do that slip knot method. And then you're going to grab maybe like 5-10 pieces of hair. You really want it really small, okay? Run her hair through the slip knot, pull it, okay? Now you're going to separate the Tinsel in half, and you're going to tie a little knot with her Tinsel and her hair, okay? And that'll kind of make it stay longer, okay? Because you're using her real hair to make the knot. I do that a couple of times. I'll split the Tinsel in half, and I'll tie a knot using one half, and then I'll tie a knot using the other parts of the Tinsel, and it'll stay pretty well. It is just a little bit harder because you are just literally grasping at like 3 or 4 pieces of hair. So just tie it as close to the scalp as possible. This method will last, I don't even know, probably like 4 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how much they brush their hair. My oldest daughter brushes her hair constantly, so her Tinsel comes out faster. But Ariana here, not so much. So hers will probably last a good 3 to 4 weeks. With the beads will probably last maybe 2 weeks. I don't like to leave them in too much or too long because then I feel like it'll start breaking their hair. So maybe 2 weeks at the most. Okay, we officially have all of the hair Tinsel in her hair. The last step is to trim up her hair just to trim the Tinsel to match her hair. So it's not super long pieces. And then she's done. She can play with it. She can put in a braid. She can put it in a ponytail for sports. You can curl it if you put it on low heat, but I wouldn't recommend because then it kind of starts to melt. If you do want to put your hair in a braid, and it will leave some waves into it, but I would try not to put too much heat on it. But yeah, looks great. Thanks for watching and learning how to put your hair Tinsel in your hair. I hope to see everybody sparkling on. So thanks for watching. Bye.